What's going on, people? It's your boy Nando, and you know what it is. It's the Pound for Pound Boxing Show in association with Dirty South and IQ Boxing. Today, very special guest live from the Matchroom Bubble himself, the Welsh Wizard, Joe Cordina. We're just waiting for him to come on live from his hotel room in the Matchroom Bubble as he fights this Saturday on the 20th on the Okoli undercard. Just going to wait for Joe to come on. Let's see if we could get Joe on. I think we're having some technical difficulties. Let me send a request. Let's see if we can get him on.
There we are.
How you doing, Joe?
Yeah, how are you?
Yeah, good, thank you. I just want to say thank you for taking your time to speak to me today.
No.
It's a pleasure to speak to you. You know, I'm a big fan. Me and my colleague Jermaine are big fans of yours. And we're excited to see you back in the ring.
Yeah, it's just good to be back, and I appreciate your support. And yeah, thank you very much, bro.
Anytime, mate, anytime. First of all, how's things in the bubble? I know it's a new environment for you, different from a normal fight camp, fight week itself. How's it been?
To be honest, I got in here today. It's haven't been too bad. It's no difference to what I do when I'm in camp. Anyway, I just isolate myself to my room. I rest when I'm training. So yes, it's pretty much no different to what I'm already doing. But even then, like when we're not in, like we weren't in a pandemic, this is what I do anyway. And the only thing I'd be doing is any different would be going for a walk. So yeah, I suppose when I'm let out the room tomorrow, I can have a walk up and down the corridor and get out for a little bit.
Amazing. You're back this Saturday after a long, frustrating 16 months. How does it feel to finally to get back in the ring this Saturday?
Yeah, it's gonna be. It's been a long time. It's been, but I think it'd be like 16 months by the time, obviously, Saturday comes around.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I've trained hard. I've had a good camp. I've done everything that I should have done in the camp. We've left no stone unturned, and yeah, I'm ready to get out there and pick up where I left off in 2019 November. Yeah. So yeah, I am looking to put on a good show.
Let's go back to 2019 when the world was normal. That night in Monte Carlo, your return to Super Featherweight, you won the WBA Continental title. What made you go back down to Super Featherweight?
Well, Tony always said to me, "Yeah, a super feather," but I was sort of brushing it aside. Obviously, when you can eat that a little bit extra and make that weight a little bit more easier, and especially when I first came down to Tony's gym in Essex, in the Matchroom gym, and yeah, I came fresh out of the amateur, so it wasn't that hard for me to make that. Then I was doing it. I was only for 4 rounds, but that my camp start. My camps are like getting ready for like 10s and 12 rounders. Body starts to build muscle that you probably didn't know that I had, and I've started to fill out a little bit. So yeah, this gradually, as I started going through my fights and my camps, I started putting on a little bit more weight and a bit more muscle in certain places. So yeah, I'm small for a lightweight. I'm not small, but I'm not big for a lightweight. I'm just an average. I'd be an average lightweight, but up at lightweight at world level, as I step up the levels, they're going to be big. They can all hit, and yeah, it's I got good boxing, but at the same time, you need to have that size as well to sort of move them and that punch power to put them back. But at that'd be a bit difficult for me. So big, but super feather. I think my size, my physicality will be a big advantage. And I think with my strength and conditioning and Tony, and we all had a little sit down, and we just thought it was the best thing to do is to move down to back down to super feather.
Amazing. We look forward to that. So obviously, let's talk about your opponent this Saturday, Farouk Korbanov. It's Korbanov. Can barely pronounce it. Belgian boxer who in 17 bouts has only fought outside of Belgium once. Travels to the UK. Do you know much about him and what dangers he brings to the ring?
Not too much. Obviously, it's the only thing is on BoxRec where I can check his sort of his record and everything else, and it's a little bit on YouTube that I've watched. Me and Tony have watched, and yeah, there's things I can take from there, but at the same time, I don't want to solely focus on what he's doing exactly there and set that game plan for that exact fight that I watched. So yeah, I take little bits from it. Tony always sends me little bits that he actually sent me a little clip then and just said, make sure you do this if this happens. So yeah, we've got a little game plan set up. But at the same time, my boxing ability is great. My boxing IQ is very good. So I'll go out there, see how he comes out, and then we'll go from there. But at the same time, yeah, there's not much to work off. But yeah, like you said, you've only boxed outside the Belgium once. And is this the first time he's boxed outside of Belgium?
No, second time. First time he boxed in Milan, lost.
Yeah. So title. Yeah, so
I believe so. Yeah.
He lost to 2 European champions. So, yeah, he's got a good record, 17-2, and he's only lost to European champions. So my work's cut out. I prepare for every fight as if it's my world title fight, and I look at them as they're a big threat. So, yeah, for me, I'm just looking forward to get out there and putting on a good display of boxing.
Amazing. Let's talk about your stable. You're part of a very unique stable who are united together. I love the videos every day of you guys sprinting. It looks very, you know, you're all in competition, especially Conor Benn. He's always trying to beat everyone in the races and that. How good is it that you're part of a stable that everyone's moving on to bigger things? You got Conor Benn against Vargas and then probably targeting maybe Josh Kelly, maybe someone in the top 15. You got Cheeseman for the British title, John Ryder, world title, hopefully Craig Richards with Bivol, and more. So what's it like being in a united stable like that?
We're like you said, we're all moving on to big fights now. So yeah, we say competition, but no one in the gym's really in competition with anyone. It's just friendly. It's like a friendly, friendly competition, to have the sort of the banter and everything else. So along with it, as like a competition where it's like a nasty sort of competition that no one's in that. We all want each other to do well. We all want to see each other lift titles, and that's the direction we're heading in. So yeah, you got Ted Cheeseman fighting next week, and then a couple of weeks later you got Conor Benn. Then Felix Cash, then John Ryder, Martin Woods, Craig Richards, Spider. So yeah, it's all happening at the minute, and it's just good to be around young, and I say young. Well, we're all young, but experienced fighters like the likes of Martin Woods, John Ryder, and then you got the less inexperienced like me, Ted Cheeseman, Felix Cash. And Craig Richards. So yeah, we're all pushing each other on, and we're all looking to do big things in the near future.
Obviously, today there was the big announcement: Felix Cash versus Denzel Bentley for the British middleweight title. Yep. How big is this fight, and how exciting is it? Because it's gonna be fireworks.
Yeah, of course. I've seen that Denzel fight. He's a good fighter. Obviously, I've been on the amateur. I was on the amateur GB team with Felix for a long time. We've been around the world fighting together, and then now we're pros together, and I see how he's developed, and how much he's improved, and I think he's going to be one to watch in the near future as like a big contender. And I think he will go on to fight for a world title. And I just think he'll have a bit too much for Denzel Bentley.
Let's talk about a bit about Conor Benn. He's fighting Vargas on April 10th. Obviously not looking past his opponent. After Josh Kelly's loss, is that the fight that you think the public still want? Is it still that big fight? Is it still there, or is it more like more the fight maybe against Marku, which might be explosive, the winner of Mikey Matkinson and Chris Congo, or is it more looking at people in the top 10 and the top 15?
I think for Conor, his boxing ability. He's moving on, and he wants these big fights, fighting Samuel Vargas, who's been in with some of the biggest names in boxing. So I think when he gets through Samuel Vargas, I think he's going to want to move on. Obviously, Josh Kelly, unfortunately, lost in his last fight. I don't think. I'm saying, yeah, you're going back. Although Josh is still a top quality fighter, and I think he will eventually win a world title at some point. And he's still young. That's the mad thing. Same as Conor, he's young. But Conor wants to be in big. I think once he gets through Samuel Vargas, that's what he's gonna target. I don't think he's gonna look at Marku because, it sells because you can sell out an O2 arena full of Albanians and Conor Benn fans. But at the same time, it's not even a high risk, low reward. I just think Conor Benn got too much for him, and I think it's a step down. I just think Conor's, with the name Conor got and where he's heading at this present moment, I just don't think the fighters you've named, I just don't think there's any point in going that way. I just think the only way for Conor is just look ahead and target these big names.
Craig Richards, I want to say he shocked everyone because I believed in him back then. I thought a lot of people writ him off. It was a 50-50 fight, but they made Shakan Peters the ultimate favorite. They gave Craig no chance. He proved everyone wrong, and all of a sudden he might be in line for a world title fight against Bivol. How huge is that?
Yeah, it's obviously me and Craig are very good mates, and we always have the band. Obviously, I've always believed in him. I say to him all the time because he says to me, he says, "Oh, you always write me off." I said, "Nah, I had a bet on you against Shakan. I had a backup bet. I had you as a backup bet." So I always have the joke and laugh with him, and same with the Bivol fight when it was talks. So hopefully it does go ahead. It was a good win against Shakan Peters. I see how he improved through his camp and through his last couple of fights, and I just think especially now he's starting to take step up the levels as like the training and take everything serious. I'm not saying he didn't before, but I just think he knows what's the end goal now, and he is in his sights, and it could be a world title against a great fighter like Bivol. So yeah, then that fight ain't too far away, and it's in touching distance for him. So yeah, I think I believe in him, and a lot of people should do because he is a dangerous fighter.
100%. He is a dangerous fighter, and it's a great opportunity for Craig. And when first time Eddie Hearn announced it, I had to rewind the interview again and hear it again because I couldn't believe it, because there was talks of him maybe fighting someone like the likes of Anthony Yard or someone like Buatsi or Lyndon Arthur or someone like that. But it's a massive year. It's a massive fight for him. Massive fight.
Yeah, of course. He's and any of them names you just named, they're big fights. But obviously, same as myself, same as Conor Benn, same as John Ryder, same as Ryan Ward, Felix, and Ted. Our goals are to win world titles.
Of course.
When you have opportunity to fight for a world title or fight for a Commonwealth or European or British title. It only makes sense you fight for that world title. Sometimes you might not be ready, but when an opportunity like that comes, you have to grab it with both hands and just let off be let off the leash. So yeah, I think he's ready. He's got the power to shock the world. But yeah, it's down to him. As long as that fight gets made, then it's down to him, and he's got to do the business on the night.
Of course. Hopefully, they sign and the fight gets done, because there's a huge opportunity and it will be a great fight as well.
Yeah, of course. I hope to God that it does get signed sometime soon.
100%. You're in the division that's heating up at the moment. You're super featherweight. I looked at the British rankings. You're second behind Carl Frampton. Obviously, never look past your opponent Saturday, but is he someone that in the future you want to target, the winner of him and Jamel Herring for a world title?
Yeah, of course. Anyone above me, like I said in previous interviews, bear in mind I've got to put it out there. I got a lot of respect for Carl Frampton. He's a great fighter. He was doing, yeah, I sort of look up to him, but at the same time, he's potentially fighting and could win what I want. So, yeah, I'd definitely entertain that. But obviously, I got to do my part on the weekend and get the win. So yeah. But yeah, Carl Frampton's an unbelievable fighter, and yeah, it'd be an honour to share the ring with him.
Even below you as well, if they came up, there's so many great fights there for you, even domestically as well. You got Zelfa Barrett, you got Archie Sharp, eventually Kakachi as well. What do you think of these fighters? Do you think they're good enough to come up with super featherweight?
Yeah, of course. I've sparred Archie Sharp, good fighter. Watched, good fighter. Kakachi, good fighter. Then you got Martin Woods. He's we're never going to fight, but he's a great fighter. So all these fighters coming through, yes, domestically is a great thing, but a great division. But like I've said, and I make it clear, my goal is to win a world title. If you're in my way, and them boys are in the way, then yeah, of course, if it's a collision course, so be it. But for me, I'm just looking to get close to a world title and win one potentially at the end of this year.
Before I get onto that, what's it like?
That's the phone.
That's fine. Room service.
I don't know. Hello. Some plonker trying to play tricks or something, maybe.
Obviously, in your division as well, there was a big fight 2 weeks ago. Oscar Valdez versus Belcher. Probably knockout of the year. Did you watch that fight, and what do you think of Oscar Valdez?
I watched Oscar Valdez through, what was it, was it the 2012 Olympics? Was he in 2012 or 2008? I think he went to both, didn't he? But he was
2012.
Yeah, so in 2012. But in one of the Olympics anyway, I was watching him and he was just unbelievable, and he was only a young man then. I think it might have been in 2008. He went to that at like 17, 18. But he was an unbelievable fighter then. So as I watched him through that, he coming through, he's turned pro and done his thing. He won a world title at featherweight, and he's beat a lot of great fighters. And to see what he done against Berchelt, which I didn't think he would do, mind. I knew he could outbox him, but I didn't think he had beat him up at times and then knock him out. I didn't think he'd do that, but it just shows you how much he's improved under Canelo's trainer. What's his name? Sorry,
Eddie Reynoso.
So and being around that stable, he's come on a lot, and I think he's a very big player in that division.
I just want to put it out there, and it's on camera as well, that when we interviewed Claudia Dreos from the Zone, I called it for the knockout. By the way, I just want to put it out there, guys. But it was a great knockout. they announced today that he's in talks to fight Lomachenko next.
Well, I did see something today, that, but at the same time, with boxing at the minute, you don't know what's happening, and
Yeah,
you heard Ryan Garcia fighting Pacquiao, you seen Devin Haney fighting Lomachenko, Ryan Garcia fighting Tank Davis. So it's just like, when it's done, it's done. Same as like with Tyson Fury and AJ.
yeah.
We were talking about it for the past year and a bit, but only the last couple of days it's surfaced that it's been signed off. So yeah, we just got to take it with a pinch of salt. If it happens, it happens. It'd be a great fight to watch.
100%.
Even though I think Lomachenko could potentially win.
I agree with that. I agree.
Um,
It would be a close fight.
it will, but I think his boxing skill and boxing IQ is a little bit too much for Valdez. But yeah, it'd be a great fight, and it'll be one fan-friendly fight as well.
Yeah, 2 former Olympians as well, so they can bring that Olympic pedigree to the fight.
I think they box in the amateurs too.
I believe so. Yeah.
So yeah, it'd be a good fight.
Yeah, I think it's 1-0 Loma, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he only lost one to Albert Selimov, which he avenged about 4 times, I think.
Yeah. My colleague Jermaine, who's part of Pound for Pound, he said, "What do you make of Gavin Gwyn's last performance, and could you see you two ever having a rematch, maybe for a world title?"
I thought it was a great performance. I thought he could win, but I didn't think he'd do it like he did. Obviously, I was in the amateurs with Sean McComb, and Sean McComb is a good technical fighter, but I think he just got swarmed and overwhelmed by his pressure and everything else. But yeah, as far as me having, yeah, potentially it could. If I go back up to lightweight, it could be. Whether I get to a world title or he gets to a world title, I don't know. But yeah, we just got to take one step at a time. And at the minute, I'm on my journey, and I'm at super featherweight, and my aim is to win a world title at super featherweight. So yeah, who knows in the future.
What's it like being trained by such an experienced and well-known coach like Tony Sims?
Yeah, it's great. Do you know what? He's more like family to the boys. He's not. He is our trainer. He's our friend, but he's like a part of our family. I actually live with Tony when I'm in camp, so yeah, for me, he's good to have around, because his knowledge in boxing, his knowledge in life, he advises you the right way to do certain things outside of boxing, I'm saying. And then obviously his experience as a coach is just next to none. So he's very experienced, and he's great to be a part of that stable and his gym.
Amazing. My colleague Jermaine interviewed him. Great guy.
Yeah.
Really great guy. His experience is amazing, and the way he's made fighters improve in their careers as well, and what he's achieved is unbelievable.
Yeah. Well, I remember when I first turned pro, he used to, when I was an amateur, he used to bring a few fighters up to Sheffield, and I'd spar like the likes of Kevin Mitchell, Conor, O'Hara Davis, and boys like that. And I used to see him coming up all the time, and the how calm he is in a corner and whatever else. I used to love that. And then when it was time to turn pro, there was a couple of trainers that I was sort of looking to go towards, and he was the first one I tried. And I came and done a week with him, and straight away, so I didn't want to go anywhere else. I didn't even want to try anyone else. I just stayed there, and I remember for the first couple of days, it was just shadow boxing. I was just shadow boxing, and it was just he was like stripping me down and taking me back to basics, which I knew I needed. I knew I needed to learn how to fight on the insides, stay there, hold my feet, and make people miss and counter and everything else, and just basic boxing. And he taught me everything, and he just took me back to basics, and he's made me a 10 times better fighter than what I was, and continuously improving me as a fighter. And as each fight goes on and each camp, we're always learning, and yeah, he's a great guy and a great trainer.
What's it like hearing your own coach and your promoter, Eddie Hearn, say numerous times that, you know what, within 12 months, he's going to be world champion? Obviously, you believe in your own ability, but what's it like hearing it from your own coach and your promoter?
Yeah, it's good to hear him say that, but at the same time, I need to do my part. I can't just rely on them saying it's going to happen. It don't work like that. It's you've got to believe in the process, and we all want the outcome. But we got to do the hard work, the hard graft in the gym. And I always say this to people when they ask me like about camps and Tony, I remember I was doing something. I think we were doing maybe stairs. We do stairs. This was a few years back, and Ricky Burns said, "Oh, come on, do another couple with me." And I was like, "Nah." So Tony was like, "Go on, Joe, couple." I was like, "Nah." And he went, "All right, don't do them then." So I was like, "Why ain't he pushing me to do them?" He said, "Listen, I ain't the one getting in the ring. I ain't the one gonna make myself. If I ain't fit, I ain't gonna make myself look stupid. You're the one in the ring." So and I was thinking, oh. So I ended up doing a couple more with Ricky, and then in the end, Ricky started I've started taking things off Ricky where how he trains and always doing more of everything, and it was just like, yeah, Tony can say, yeah, you're gonna be a world champion, but we have to do our part and we have to push ourselves. We have to push ourselves to the limit. So if Tony says do a couple more, I know it's only going to benefit me, so that's what I'll do. So yeah, it's nice to hear him say that, but at the same time, I gotta do my bit.
Amazing. Obviously, you're a super featherweight. You want to become world champion of super featherweight.
Yeah,
Would you ever go back to lightweight? Would that be the future plan?
yeah, I'd love to do that. I'd love to win a world title at super feather, move up, call up one of the world champions, and make a few mil. But yeah, that'd be an ideal situation for me. But yeah, win a world title first at super feather.
Because there's some cracking fights up there for you. You know, you got the likes of Ryan Garcia, you got the Teofimo Lopez, Tank. You know, is
So
is
it's packed, and probably at this present moment, that division is going to make some serious money. So yeah, to be a part of that would be great. But at the same time, I gotta do my part. Like I've said, I gotta win a world title and then maybe defend it a couple of times at super feather, and then look to sort of direction myself towards one of them big names. That would be.
sorry,
I said that would be ideal.
would be ideal. Well, hopefully it can happen.
Fingers crossed.
Let's concentrate on super featherweight for now.
Of course.
Let's talk about three big fights with three British fighters. Let's start with Billy Joe Saunders and Canelo.
Yeah.
You looking forward to this fight? And what's your prediction?
Yeah, I am looking forward to it. Canelo is one of my favorite fighters. I watch him most days. Billy Joe's a great fighter, and he's from UK. I want him to win. I just can't see it. I think he's not as active as Canelo, and at the form Canelo's in now and being active, I just think. Not saying that Billy Joe can beat him, but I just think Canelo's got a bit too much. You've seen it with the likes of Kovalev, Callum Smith, Daniel Jacobs, at the fight. Triple G. The first one was a bit shaky. The second one, I thought he bossed that fight and he stood his ground, held the center, barely touched the rope. So for me, I just think he got a bit too much for Billy Joe. Yeah, so I'm going with
Josh Taylor, Ramirez.
Josh Taylor. I've always said it. Josh Taylor would be a world champion. This is when we were on the amateur team together. He's spiteful. He's a spiteful fighter. He always wants to get in and hurt you, and he's always been suited more to the pros. How he throws his shots, his body shots, and everything. And I've always said he'll be a world champion, and he is world champion. And I think he beats Ramirez. Yeah, I think he beats him well too.
They're saying him beating Ramirez sets up a mega fight with Teofimo Lopez. What do you think of that fight?
Yeah, that'd be good because he sets his family up for life. He sets his family up for life, and it'd be great to see that. And someone that I've been all around the world, see him go on to do that. I'm happy for him now. He's won a world title, um, and he's fighting for big honours and to unify the division now. But to have a fight with a lightweight unified champion, two unified champions fighting against each other, that'd be great and cement his name in history. Not saying that he already have, but it'd be great to see.
100%. I said there was 3 fights. Another one just came to my mind. So before I go on to the big one, AJ Fury, fellow Welshman, Liam Williams versus Andrade.
Bubu Andre. Liam Williams is for me. For me, it's Liam Williams. He's a horrible guy, and he just wants to hurt you with everything. And I know Demetrius Andrade's with Matchroom and whatever else, but Liam Williams, I've known him since the first couple of months I was boxing, so I've known him for a very, very long time. Same again, being around the world with him, know him very well. He's a good friend of mine, and I can't wait for that fight, and I hope to God he gets the job done, which I think he will.
It's incredible how much he's improved since the Liam Smith losses.
Yeah, well, he obviously moved from Gary. I think the thing with moving from Gary was just he needed something fresh, and just a little bit more to add to his arsenal, which he's Dominic Ingle, the Ingle gym. So yeah, he's moved up there and he's improved a lot, and you've seen it each fight, the little improvements, and from the improvements from the Liam Smith fight, yeah, it's been massive, and I think he gets the job done. When they do fight, I can't remember the date. I did see it the other day.
April 17th.
17th. So I think he gets the job done there.
I actually interviewed Andrade this week, and he's a good character. I give him that. He's a good character. Great guy to speak to. You know, he's always wacky and jokey, but there was moments in that interview that now he's taken the fight serious, and he was actually a little bit upset for the comments that Liam Williams said about his hair and stuff. And it's the first time I've seen Andrade actually snap like that, because even with Billy Joe Saunders, it was all fun and games. With Liam Williams, has been fun and games, but it's going to be an explosive fight. Because I personally thought it was just going to be more Liam Williams getting at him. He's just laughed off the thing, but I think now Andrade is. I think he's taking it to heart what Liam said.
Yeah, well, Liam don't give a shit for anything. He'll say what comes in his mind, and he don't care who he offends. So, yeah, if he's worried about what he said about his hair, he's got fucking lot to actually worry about when it comes to the press conferences and weigh-ins and fight nights and all that stuff. So, yeah, I think Liam will get in his head and make him snap.
Look forward to that fight. It's going to be a cracking fight. How much has Welsh boxing improved? You got yourself, you got Liam Williams, Jay Harris, you got Chris Jenkins. Have I missed anyone else? I'm sure there's more.
Yeah, obviously you got Lee Selby, world champion.
Yeah.
How long he's going to go on for? Who else? You got obviously Gavin Gwyn. He's Commonwealth champion now. You got a lot of fighters out there. Young up and coming fighters.
Yeah.
There's like you said, Jay Harris is one. He got the world title. When was it last year? So
he's
yeah.
fighting for now for a world title next.
So that there we go. He's fighting for his second chance at a world title. So for me, he's a great fighter. I love watching him. How same again. We were in the amateurs together. I remember I actually roomed with him in Scotland for my first ever. Was it my first or my second British Championships? We roomed together, and he's so quiet and timid, but when he's in a ring, he's just like he's an animal basically. He just puts his
Yeah.
shot. He's a good fighter, and I think he could win a world title.
I think he's learned a lot. He's learned a lot from that loss to Martinez. He will take that as a learning point, and he'll come back a better and stronger fighter.
Yeah, of course. He was in there with arguably, well, I'd say one of the top 10 pound for pound punchers, and he's a handful, that Martinez, and you can see he's just bad intentions on every shot he throws.
Yeah.
So for him to get through a 12-round fight with him and nick a couple of rounds as well, and he was having success in that fight as well. I just think he would have learned loads from that fight, and it will bring him on as a fighter, and it will help him out in his next challenge for a world title.
100%. The fight I will love for Jay Harris is him against Sonny Edwards. That'll be a cracking fight.
Yeah, it'd be it would be a good fight, to be fair. Sonny Edwards is a good fighter.
Yeah. Apparently, he's in line for another world title. No, not another, a world title fight. Announcement on Thursday, so we'll see who he's going to face.
Oh, that'd be decent. That'd be decent. He's always shouting out on Twitter, so yeah, at least he gets what he wants now, doesn't he?
Yeah, he deserves it. The last fight, obviously, biggest British heavyweight fight in history. Probably one of the biggest heavyweight fights since Ali Frazier. AJ Fury. I know you're Matchroom, but I've interviewed a few Matchroom fighters, and they're not biased. They actually swerve towards Tyson Fury. Who's your money on?
I just think there's two ways this goes. This is what I personally, and I'm not going to be biased towards AJ. This is just as a boxing fan. AJ, obviously, he's my mate, and I've gone for the amateurs with him, and I got a lot of respect for him. I think if Tyson Fury decides to come and fight like he did against Wilder and try and pressure AJ, I think AJ will knock Tyson Fury out. But I just think if Fury decides to be awkward like he has been in the past, and jab, move, and like basically be awkward, I just think Fury will, frustrate him and get to him. But at the same time, I've been wrong before. It could go the opposite way. Do you understand? So yeah, it's a very interesting fight, but I just think it depends on how Tyson Fury comes out for me. But it'd be a good fight, and it's one that everyone wants to watch, not just in Britain, but everyone in the world. So yeah, it's exciting times, some exciting fights, and who would thought it would have been in the middle of a pandemic?
Exactly.
A shame that,
and we
can't have it in a big stadium like Wembley.
100%. Hopefully, fingers crossed, and we don't just get one. We're treated to two, and we might even get three if it's 1-1. Might get a trilogy.
Yeah, of course. So yeah, I forgot about the 2-fight deal. But yeah, if it goes 1-1, then definitely we'd definitely have a trilogy, and hopefully by then the pandemic will be over, and we'll be allowed back in stadiums, and hopefully I'll get on the undercard defending my world title.
That's it.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
Definitely. Joe, before I let you go, message for the fans. What do we expect on Saturday?
A clinical boxing performance. Stay tuned, keep an eye out, and I just appreciate everyone for your support, and tune in Saturday live on Sky.
Watch this space.
Yes, come on.
Joe, I want to say thank you for taking your time to speak to me today. It's been a pleasure. Massive fan of yours. I can't wait to see you back in the ring, and can't wait to see you become world champion in 12 months or less.
Yes, thank you very much, mate.
Stay safe and good luck on Saturday.
Yeah, mate. God bless.
You too. Take care.